Welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, Lindo Creek COI hearings continued. Guyana Labor Force Survey launches first quarterly bulletin, and Region 8 youths to receive professional football coaching. Stay tuned for the details of these and more.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
We begin with the news that President David Granger has instructed that an investigation be launched into the accident involving a David G. boat in the vicinity of Riversview, Cuyuni-Mazaruni, Region 7. This came as he visited the 4 injured students at the Georgetown Public Hospital last evening. Injured in the boat accident, which took place Wednesday evening, are Lola Turnhill, 14 years old, Akeem Williams, 21 years old, Cleve Lloyd Edmonds, 15 years old, and Chanel Machete, 16 years old. Additionally, the President has committed to providing necessary assistance to aid the recovery process of those injured. The National Assembly sat today. Stacey Carmichael was there and filed this report.
The Juvenile Justice Bill 2018 was read for the first time in the National Assembly today by Minister of Public Security, Kemraj Ramjatan. The Act seeks to amend and consolidate the law in relation to criminal justice for juveniles. It will make provision for proceedings with respect to juvenile offenders and for the establishment of facilities for the custody, education, and rehabilitation of said offenders. The Act also seeks to repeal the Juvenile Offenders Act and the Training Schools Act. Annual reports from several agencies, including the Guyana Oil Company Limited for the year 2016, the Guyana National Shipping Corporation for the year 2016, and the Guyana Police Force for the years 2014 and 2015, were also laid in the National Assembly. The reports for the Guyana Oil Company and the Guyana National Shipping Corporation were laid by a minister within the Finance Ministry, Jaipal Sharma, while the reports for the Guyana Police Force were laid by Minister Ramjatan. The National Assembly also reflected on the lives of former late parliamentarians Mohammed Dean, Sandra Adams, Mohammed Shahabuddin, Philomena Raymond, and Simon Hilton. Motions expressing sympathy on the passing of these outstanding parliamentarians were then moved in the House. Homage was paid to the Commonwealth with the dedication of a tree in the compound of the National Assembly. The tree was planted 5 years ago by former Speaker of the National Assembly, Raphael Trotman, and Member of Parliament, Dr. Vindhya Prasad. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
As the Lindo Creek Commission of Inquiry continued today, testimony revealed that former Prime Minister Samuel Hines and Minister of Home Affairs Clement Rohi sought to convince mine owner Lennox Arokium that it was the Fine Man gang that was responsible. Alexis Rodney reports.
Appearing before the COI today was Courtney Wong, older brother of murdered Clifton Wong. Wong, who is a self-employed mechanic, told the commission, headed by Chairman Justice Donald Trotman, that he will be the one to go to Lindo Creek to do mechanic work. However, in June of 2008, it was his brother, Clifton, who took his place because of the workload he had.
I could only recall when I met him, when he was going to Lindo Creek in a space for me, because I had a lot of work on my hands and I could not make it. So he fit in for that.
The witness said he heard of the deaths after mine owner Lennox Arokium called him frantically. He said during a later telephone conversation with Arokium, he was informed that the then Prime Minister, Minister of Home Affairs, and Commissioner of Police Henry Green had visited his home, trying to convince him that it was the Fine Man gang that carried out the killing.
I got a second call from Arokium telling me that the commissioner and this was Henry Green, the Prime Minister and the Home Affairs Minister went over by him at Metro Hall and tried to convince him that Prime Man did this, which he said blatantly, told him that he doesn't believe in that.
Wang said he was used as a guide to police officials to the mining camp, which he described as a devastating scene. He recalled seeing human bones and skulls piled upon each other. He also observed that a particular police officer had later in the day announced that he had found 3 spent shells, although the 15-man team did not find any when they combed the area upon their arrival. The COI continues on Thursday, March 22nd. Alexis Rodney for Info.
The Department of Environment is being assisted by the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, to align the Sustainable Development Goals in the Green State Development Strategy. Here's this Tiffany Rojas report.
The director of the Department of Environment, NDB Schwarz, says the 2-day workshop will equip stakeholders in the Green State Development Strategy, GSDS, with the tools to incorporate the SDGs.
The purpose of the workshop, therefore, is to provide the members of the expert groups, the members of the advisory groups, with the skills that they need so that they can be the ones to integrate the SDGs into the GSDS.
The GSDS has 7 thematic areas that are tied into the United Nations SDGs. The UNDP is providing the technical support at the workshop by supplying the tools. One such tool, Schwarz noted, is the theory of change.
It entails looking at what our national priorities are. When we understand our national priorities, we look at what are the drivers that will enable us to attain those national priorities, and then from that, we look at targets, the specific targets that will drive those, that will enable us to achieve those drivers.
At the end of the workshop, a draft GSDS Theory of Change document will be developed. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rojas.
The Ministry of Public Health Government Analyst Food and Drug Department is undertaking a 5-day training and technical assistance course for the Guyana coconut industry and inspectorate at the Grand Coastal Hotel. Here is Stefan Gabriel.
The training comes after a shipment of Rooster fresh Pomeroon coconut water was refused entry by the Port of Spain authorities. Director of Government Analyst Food and Drug Department, Marlon Cole.
We are basically responding to a threat, and that is the stimuli of the coconut water industry, or the promulgation of same to enjoy or have access to markets in the region and in the wider world.
Ministry of Public Health's representative, Dr. K. Shako, gave assurances of the ministry's support and encouraged those present to use the training to improve the industry.
The department believes that it must lend support to the coconut industry. And I will agree with the Food and Drug Department, because if it does not do so, it will be defeating its very mandate. And we all know that challenges and controversies most of the times bring out the best within us. So I'm hoping with these challenges and controversies now that we're facing with the coconut industry, it will help us to strengthen what we already have, and also for us to improve on our future events that we would have been having with the coconut industry here in Guyana.
Also present was Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute representative, Dr. Cyril Roberts, and Technological Solutions Limited Managing Director, Dr. Andre Gordon. They outlined the need for identifying challenges, making adjustments, and having uniformity in the coconut products trade. The event commenced on 12th of March and will conclude on Friday, March 16th. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
The Bureau of Statistics, the Inter-American Development Bank, and other stakeholders today launched Guyana's first quarterly labor force survey bulletin to track labor market dynamics. Crystal Stull has the details.
Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Hector Butts, said the LFS bulletin is critical since its data will aid in shaping objective decision-making.
To have such statistics, it can serve 2 major purposes. First, at the level of managing macroeconomic planning, to determine the impact of labor in the generation of wealth in Guyana. Second, at the career planning level, to permit youths and others to effect career planning against the background of projected needs for skills based on both replacement of persons like myself leaving the workforce and demand for new labor via natural growth and innovation in the economy.
Dr. Butts believes the LFS quarterly bulletin will garner conversations on the effectiveness of policies towards labor and the labor force.
It is the expectation, to my mind, that the University of Guyana and academia in general would exploit the availability of current labor force data to expand their knowledge of the dynamics of the labor force market. Likewise, our trade unions should also utilize these statistics so that the bargaining process for enhanced employee benefits can be based more on reliable statistics.
Dr. Butts encouraged that labor force statistics be collected and processed consistently over time. He also assured the Bureau of Statistics and other international and local stakeholders of the government's support for a continuous quarterly labor force survey. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
West Bank Demerara residents are pleased with the pace of the Canal No. 1 road rehabilitation project. Natisha Isaacs joins us.
Residents of Canal No. 1 will soon benefit from rehabilitative works being done to their main access road. The Canal No. 1 West Bank Demerara access road will soon have a completely rehabilitated asphalt surface with the added feature of speed bumps. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure's refurbished road will allow for better access for scores of pedestrians and drivers who visit communities such as Inner Bagotville, under Naming, La Parfaite Harmony, and Westminster.
We're on No. 1 canal. We're actually doing No. 1 and 2 canal, approximately about 4 miles road. What we did so far in No. 1, we put on about 4 inches compacted crusher run, as you can see on the road now. We did some shoulder work and we actually blinding the road now.
Appreciative residents told InfoHub that the road has not been resurfaced or rehabilitated for decades.
After Barnum do the road didn't do back from since then. And we're so happy and proudly and glad that the road is doing. We will benefit at least by the Benny road. You know, they have to go through new road dairy. We will get our No. 1 road so that everybody could pass through and stop and shop.
Seeing the road project going on is a very good thing because the road was deteriorating for a very long time and it will be beneficial to us because a lot of vehicles, the potholes was tremendous in this place. So a lot of accidents occur daily.
From Canal No. 1, Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
We close with this Paul McAdam report. He tells us that football coach Gordon Ultimate Warrior Braffett will soon be imparting his knowledge to Region 8's youth.
Minister of Social Cohesion with responsibility for culture, youth and sport, Dr. George Norton, explained that the region's residents have long called for a coach to harness the talents of their youth.
The old folks in the villages are saying to us, we want coaches, because when you give us a football, our children run behind it, kick it, and who first get it, kick it again. So they were asking for us. Now they're asking for coaches. Cato has got one of the most natural grounds that I've ever seen in this country. So we had to provide that.
Braffett has had the distinct honor of participating at the World Cup level as a player in 1980, captain in 1984, and as a coach in 1992. Minister Norton said that Braffett is enthusiastic about his future role in the development of hinterland football.
We've already made arrangements for him to be employed. I think he might have signed up already. And we spoke with the regional authorities. They've identified his place to stay. He will be staying at Cato, but from Cato he'll be going to all the surrounding villages like Paramakatoy, like Kurukubaru, Kadampang, Etabak, and back to Monkey Mountain that they asked for it in the first place. But we're hoping to see Gordon on the ground working with all the enthusiasm that he has expressed to us.
The minister's move is in keeping with a promise he made when he took responsibility for sport to push its development countrywide. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Check our website or Facebook page for more details as we bring you updates and developments across Guyana and further afield. Thanks for watching. Remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.